Welcome back to another episode of Talking Sports with your boy DP. Yeah, I was missing dog, you feel me? Hurricane Milton, I had to get ready for that, had to prepare for that, but I'm here, I'm back. I'm coming here to talk to you about this college football and about my picks that I picked for last week 6 that is. You feel me? Right now I'm 10-3 on the season. And I kind of want to explain my record and how I'm picking these games so people don't get misunderstood. I'm not necessarily picking against the spread or not like that. I'm really just picking if the team gonna win outright or not, just so we can all get a clear understanding of what I'm doing. Now mind you, I might give on whether I feel like they're gonna go over or under the point spread. Like say if they got Clemson minus 19, feel me? I say if I feel like they're gonna cover the 19 or not cover the 19. I say that much, but for the most part, this is just me picking the team to win outright. If you feel me, get that understanding out there. But so right now, I'm 10-3 on the season. Last week 6 was a good week for me. Every team I picked, they won the game. So you feel me? Way to go, DP. Way to do that there. And since I wasn't able to drop the recap earlier, this show I'm gonna do the recap and I'm gonna do the my picks in the same show. I'm gonna just put all that together since I wasn't able to do it over, you feel me, throughout the week. Hopefully y'all rock out, show your boy some love on these videos, like, share, subscribe, all that, you feel me. Show me a little love, you feel me. I'm trying to try to do something different out here. But first game we're gonna talk about for the recap, I'm gonna just briefly go over some of the game and then I'm gonna get into the picks that I want to pick. Well, I'm gonna go over the first game. Texas A&M put the smackdown on Missouri, 41-10. I seen that one coming, to be honest with you. I ain't feel like Missouri played to the standard they should have been playing to be ranked as high as they were. I think they was ranked 9 coming to this game, but Texas A&M came and gave them the business. Shout out to Texas A&M, 41-10. Connor Whitman out there looked like a whole nother quarterback. I thought Marcel Reeves was gonna start this game. I thought Marcel Reeves was gonna be out there running all over Missouri and throwing that thing, you feel me, getting completions and making it look good. But you know what? Connor Whitman said, not so fast, my friend. Connor Whitman said, I'm here to play, I'm here to ball, man. 18 for 22, 276 passing yards, 5 carries, 33 yards. But really, what was the factor of this game? Texas A&M ran that ball. Texas A&M, Le'Veon Moss. Let me say my dog name correctly. 12 carries, 138 yards, 3 touchdowns, 11.5 yards a carry. And then my boy Amari Daniels from Miami, Florida. Shout out to Amari Daniels. 9 carries, 34 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3.8 yards a carry. Texas A&M finished this game with 512 total yards of offense, 236 yards on the ground, 8.8 yards per play. And they ended the day with 5 sacks. They was getting after Missouri all day long, man. Missouri rushing attack got shut down. They was only allowed 68 yards on the day, and they was held to 4.2 yards per play. Shout out to Texas A&M for getting the job done, man. Way to go, Texas A&M. I knew y'all could do it. Making my picks look good a little piece. You feel me? Now that we got that understanding of how I'm picking these games. Boom. Next game we got from the recap. Ole Miss versus South Carolina. Ole Miss 27, South Carolina 3. This kind of was a sluggish game a little bit, but Ole Miss took advantage of every opportunity that they got for the most part. Ole Miss had 425 total yards of offense, 285 yards passing, 140 yards rushing, quite balanced. 6.3 yards per play. South Carolina, they don't have a passing attack at all. You feel me? They really had to run that thing. But it was pretty balanced this game, nonetheless. But the offensive line allowed 6 sacks on the day, a lost fumble, an interception throw, and they were held to 4.1 yards per play. 8 penalties for 80 yards for South Carolina. Okay, give me some water before I go to the next team, man. Next team, Old Clemson take it to FS Pooh, 29-13. Cade Klubnik, 19 of 33, 235 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 11 carries, 62 yards, and 5.6 yards a carry. But the man of the day, the man of the hour, the man that brought that phone, the man that brought that phone, the man that brought that thing to FS Pooh, Phil Maffa. 25 carries, 154 yards, and 6.2 yards a carry. Phil Maffa was out there running that thing, y'all. Putting Clemson in very good field position, left and right. Florida State couldn't handle it. Florida State couldn't take it. Florida State couldn't make it. You feel me? But Clemson also finished the day with 500 total yards of offense. Where was the defense? 265 yards rushing and 235 yards passing it. Can't get no more balanced than that. Like my boy Dano say, like everything should be perfectly balanced. And then we got them boys 6.8 yards per play, and they only had 3 penalties with 30 yards. Way to play discipline. And I feel like the way Clemson been playing since the Georgia game, you know I'm a Hurricane fan, but it's sad to say Clemson looking like the best team in the ACC so far, because we not playing and beating people the way Clemson beat people. Clemson is out here beating people to sleep, put respect on their name, while my Canes out here looking shaky. I don't need y'all to look shaky. I need y'all to look dominant out here. But let's talk about old FS Pooh. What I will say about Florida State Seminoles, give them a break from the FS Pooh slander. But yeah, Brock Glenn, he looked decent. He looked a little bit better than DJ Ukulele or DJ Ugala. I don't know how to say the man's name. Y'all already know this. But Brock Glenn was 23 of 41. Don't sound that impressive. But hey, 23 of 41, 228 passing yards, two touchdowns and 1 INT. But what's sad about this, Clemson only allowed Florida State to have 250 yards of total offense on the day. That defense biting. Held Florida State to only 22 rushing yards on the day. 22. Not 21 Savage, but 22 Savage. And they were held to 3.9 yards per play. It was hard for me to get that out. 3.9 yards per play? Damn, FS Pooh. But what I will say, it was kind of the best performance I seen FS Pooh had. They kept it close all the way up until halftime, and then Clemson did what they do. And still, the deficit ain't that bad, nonetheless, compared to how Florida State been playing majority of this season. In the last game, I'm gonna talk about from my picks that I picked. You feel me? That helped the kid go forward in the OR on the weekend, week 6. I can really say 5-0 if I want to include the Miami Hurricane game, but I ain't gonna include that on this one. You feel me? I talk about the Cane on the Cane show. You did. But Tennessee goes down to Arkansas, 14-19. Mind you, I picked Arkansas to win this game, and I ain't had that much confidence. I just had a little bit of confidence Arkansas win the game. The main factor of me picking Arkansas was I feel like they was more battle tested than Tennessee. I feel like they played better competition through the 6 games that they played so far. I feel like Arkansas was ready for that challenge, and they competed and it looked good in every game they lost and won for the most part this season. But Tennessee, on the other hand, they had a few cakewalks, a few mediocre opponents. You feel me? And then when they played Oklahoma, I thought they should have dominated Oklahoma a little bit more, just for the simple fact Oklahoma offense ain't all that this year. But Tennessee quarterback Nico, I think it's pronounced Imaleva. I don't know how to say it, so we just gonna call him Nico. But Nico went 16 of 28, 156 yards. Well, not a good night for Nico. But he's a freshman, man. Well, I ain't gonna say he's a freshman, but he's his first time starting. And a lot of people ain't understand these quarterbacks. They need time to develop. They need time to grow. And if they're out there 1 or 2 years and ain't showing no growth, or 2 or 3 years and ain't showing no growth, then hey, might time to ask them, bro, you gotta slide, man. We need you to get that portal because you ain't doing what you thought you was gonna do. But I feel like Nico's gonna grow to be one of the best quarterbacks in college football once he mature and understand the game better and the game slows down for him more. Because honestly, the first couple of games he didn't really play at nobody until they played Arkansas, if we must be honest. But that boy Dylan Sampson, 22 carries, 140 yards, 2 tuggies, 6.4 yards a carry. And honestly, Tennessee had 332 yards of total offense, 156 yards passing, 176 yards rushing, 10 penalties, 60 yards, and allowed 4 sacks. Now, mind you, too, Tennessee is kind of lucky that Arkansas couldn't get an offense going in the first half, because Arkansas really could have blew this thing out the water. They would repeatedly and constantly stopping Tennessee's offense and getting their offense the ball back. But Arkansas couldn't put points on the board. So mind you, when the game got close and Tennessee took the lead, I was thinking, yeah, man, I don't lost this pick. Tennessee finna go ahead and run them out the water. But Arkansas anchored down and got the W. Arkansas Taylor Green had 19, went for 19 for 27, 266 passing yards. And mind you, Taylor Green left the game with an injury late in the game, and the backup came back to help Arkansas still get the job done. But Andre Armstrong, wide receiver for Arkansas, the man was balling. The man could not be covered. 9 receptions, 132 yards, and 14.7 yards per catch. Arkansas ended this game with 434 total yards of offense, 297 passing yards, 137 rushing, 23 first downs, and they controlled the ball for 35 minutes and 28 seconds in the game. That's how you get the job, Arkansas. Get the job done, Arkansas. Way to go. The Hogs, that's what y'all call the Wild Hogs, the Boar Hogs. I don't know. I just call y'all Arkansas. I don't know your mascot name. Who cares? Let me stop. Shout out Darren McFadden too. That's one of my favorite players that came from the University of Arkansas. I would throw that out there. When him and Felix Jones was there, them boys getting busy, and I liked it. So let's talk about my picks this week, man. I can slow down a little bit. I sped through the recap a little piece, you feel me? Hopefully I don't offend nobody from speeding through it like that. But I'm kind of behind when it comes to my days and I want to do the shows. You dig? But first game we finna talk about. We got number 8 Tennessee, 4-1, going up against the Florida Gators, coming in the season 3-2. They got Tennessee as a 16-point favorite. Now, honestly, I'm going to be real with you. I don't think this is the same Florida team that Miami played in the beginning of the year, and we drug all through the swamp. We whooped the crap out of 41-17. I don't think it's that same team. I don't think it's the same team that Texas A&M went out there and beat the sleep the way they did. But I could be wrong, because Florida rushing defense is not that great. But Tennessee's offense coming into this game averaging 519 total yards of offense, 252 passing, 266 rushing, and averaging 46 points per game. Defense only allowing 227 yards per game, giving up 159 passing, and only giving up 67 rushing yards per game. That defense was biting, and it was really, when they played Arkansas, to be real with you, Arkansas had to fight for every rushing yard they got a little piece. So I ain't gonna count it. They was busting holes a little bit, but for the most part, I think they held both of the Arkansas running backs to at least over 3-point-something yards per carry. So that defensive rushing attack for Tennessee is a little nice. We're gonna have to see how the Gators can be able to attack that. That's how I feel like the only way they're gonna really be able to win this game. And Tennessee defense only giving up 9 points per game. Player that you should watch in this game, in my perspective, Dylan Sampson, coming in this game with 91 carries, 587 yards, and 12 touchdowns, 6.5 yards a carry on the season. Now let's talk about these Gators. Gators offense, you feel me? They averaging 411 yards per game, 268 yards passing per game, 142 yards rushing per game, and they're averaging 30 points per game. Defense, on the other hand, is allowing 395 yards per game, giving up 222 passing, and also allowing 172 rushing yards per game, allowing 24 points per game. And the player I feel like Florida needs to involve more and get the ball in his hands more is Montreal Johnson. The running back, 58 carries, 288 yards on the season, 4 touchdowns, 5 yards a carry. Yeah, try to involve Montreal Johnson and Eugene Wilson, those guys in the offensive game plan as much as y'all can. Now, mind you, I don't like the offensive game plan that the Florida Gators run, because a lot of that East and West stuff is not going to cut it out when you play faster teams. But I don't think Tennessee is going to win this game by 16 points. Now, I'm going to pick Tennessee to win, but I don't think they're going to cover 16 points. I don't feel like this is the same Florida Gator team, you feel me, that Texas A&M and Miami played. I don't think this is that same team. I feel like this is a whole nother Florida team that they ready to come out here and compete and play some football. I feel like Florida going to keep it a little closer than 16, but I do feel like Tennessee is going to get the W. So next game we're going to talk about, we got Ohio State, number 2 team in the nation, 5-0, going against Oregon, 5-0, the number 3 team in the nation. We got a battle versus number 2 versus 3 out here. They got Ohio State. I'm talking about Oregon State. They got Ohio State, a 3-point favorite in this game. Now, I do feel like this game will go down to the wire. I have no doubt that it will. Ohio State offense coming into this game averaging 510 yards per game, 288 passing, 222 rushing, 46 points per game. Ohio State coming here with a very balanced attack. They got weapons all over the field. The only guy that I really worry about when it comes to the Ohio State offense is Will Howard. Can he keep it efficient? Can he take advantage of all the weapons that he have? Because your running game, you got 2 great running backs. You got Travion, I think his name is Travion Henderson. I know his last name Henderson. Then we got Quishon Junkins, you feel me? And then we got that standout freshman, Jeremiah Smith. Speaking of Jeremiah Smith, the young man got 23 receptions, 453 yards, 6 tuggies, and 19 yards a catch on the year. True freshman. The man is a freakazoid. And then Quishon Junkins, he coming in this game with 60 carries, 468 yards on the ground, and 5 touchdowns and 7.8 yards a carry on the year. Now, Ohio State defense, them boys still biting, but the competition level that Ohio State have played up until this point have not impressed me. A lot of people would say Iowa was their first real test. I don't think so. Iowa is known for a good defense, but how is Iowa going to test? Well, how was Iowa going to test Ohio State's defense with their offense? Iowa offense has been lackluster since last year and many years before that. So they only known for defense. If anything, we could see if they was going to be able to slow Ohio State down, but your defense need help too. If your defense get the other team off the field and their offense is not helping them, it's useless. Well, Ohio State defense, what I say, they are allowing 202 yards a game, giving up 129 yards passing, allowing 72 yards rushing, and only giving up 6 points per game. Number 1 defense in the Big Ten. Now, Oregon, on the other hand, they coming in here. Offense, 458 yards per game. Passing, 294 yards. Rushing, 164 yards. And averaging 35 points per game. The defense, allowing 263 yards per game. Giving up 162 yards passing. Giving up 101 yards rushing. And allowing 17 points per game. Now, the big factor that I have for this game, the player that I feel like is going to be the most impact for that will have the most impact for Oregon, and that's Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel, he shows up in big moments. He's a grinder, he's a go-getter, he's a clutch quarterback, he's a big game quarterback. He's coming in the season with 1,449 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, and 3 INTs. So my boy Dillon Gabriel doing his thing. He turned up right now, and I can't wait to see this game. I'm going to pick Ohio State to win, and I'm going to pick Ohio State to cover. Because the teams I seen Oregon play in the beginning of the year, the Idaho teams, they didn't look that good against those guys. They got the W though, but Oregon just doesn't look as dominant as they have in past. But I will say this is the first true test Ohio State will have. This is the first true test. This is the first time they will be tested. So will they be out here? Let's say they're not ready for this game because they had such an easy route up until this point. Or they just going to take advantage of Oregon and come out here and kick their ass. We shall see. Next game, I want to talk about, well, the last game I want to talk about is Penn State versus USC. Penn State ranked number 4 in the nation, coming in 5-0 and a 3.5 point favorite over USC. That's coming in here this game 3-2 on the season. My Penn State offense is coming in here averaging 461 yards per game, 244 passing, 217 rushing, and 34 points per game. Defense allowing 233 yards per game, giving up 157 passing yards and giving up 76 rushing yards, and only allowing 11 points per game. I think they're the second best defense in the Big Ten. Drew Aller, 1,101 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, 1 INT, and 26 carries, 89 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Running back Nicholas Singleton, 53 carries, 408 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and 7.7 yards a carry. USC's offense averaging 442 yards per game, 292 passing, 149 rushing, and 30 points per game. Defense is allowing 316 yards per game, giving up 157 passing, giving up 158 rushing, and allowing 18 points per game. Miller Moss, 1,398 yards, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Woody Marks, running back for USC, 81 carries, 468 yards, and 4 touchdowns, 5.8 yard average. They got Penn State a 3.5 point favorite in this game. And you know what? I wanted to pick Penn State, but I'm going to pick USC. Something keep telling me, ringing in my head, pick USC. Go at USC. Go at USC. I could be wrong. Last time USC failed me. But I'm going to pick USC this time because I feel like with the Arkansas game, they are more battle-tested than Penn State. Penn State really haven't played anyone that raised my eyebrow. West Virginia was an okay team, but they almost lost to a Bowling Green. And I feel like USC is better than both of those teams. So we shall see. I'm picking USC to win. I'm picking USC to cover. So you feel me? I don't know. I just don't have trust in Penn State. And a lot of times when they play big games, they don't show. A lot of times Penn State, they fail in the big game. They don't come to play. They look like they're hitting, like somebody don't put them in the state pen and not at state Penn State. If you want to be honest, it look like they be cuffed up and all that on chains and everything when they play against top 10 or top 25 competition. But Penn State, you can make a believer out of me. You could prove me wrong. But I think USC gonna pull out this W and gonna upset Penn State and drop them boys down. But with that being said, I think that's all I got for y'all, man. You feel me? I'm glad y'all came to rock out with your boy. Show me some love, you feel me? Like, share, subscribe, comment, call me ugly in the comments, tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, call me dumb, insult me, you feel me? Give me compliments, whatever you want to do, just show some love, you feel me? But with that being said, like, share, subscribe. Y'all know it's all about the you feel me? And your boy is out, you feel me?